Hi, I'm Steve Sable, and welcome to Volume 4 of our Greatest Ever series, Greatest Ever Quarterbacks. Now, no position in sport is as demanding as quarterback. It requires the intelligence to understand an offense, the courage to stand in the pocket and face the rush, and above all, the ability to lead. After all, passing, that's a gift, but winning is an art. And like it or not, all quarterbacks are ultimately judged not just by how they performed, but by what their teams accomplished. Each of the quarterbacks featured here possessed the ultimate ability. They not only made their teammates believe in themselves, they made them believe anything was possible.
All right, okay, it's a 088 now, Gary. If you get pressed, run me a 7, okay? Got good depth on your 8, though. Split left Liz, 088 on White. Ready?
An open 4 right, 29 Geo, slot drag.
On the deuce. Red right. Power 49 near Geo. It's on 2. It's on 2. Ready? Break.
You got it tight, got it tight. You got it tight. Tight, tight.
355. 280. 288. 44. 190. 190!
Set! 330!
Here he comes!
Here they come again!
To play quarterback in the NFL requires rapid-fire decision-making and a rifle arm. But only a handful of men have truly mastered these requirements. They are pro football's greatest ever quarterbacks.
I think when you talk about all great quarterbacks, you're talking about people who love to compete. You're talking about somebody who wants the ball in his hand when the game is on the line.
I really don't think it's the strength of the arm, but it's the force of will. And all the great quarterbacks have had that when they have to make the big play, they make the big play.
This has got to be the alley-oop. There is no time for anything else. Tittle throws. Owens is double teamed. He's going downfield near the goal line. He goes up. And he's got it.
39 seconds remaining. Montana throws. Touchdown with 34 seconds remaining.
You get where you feel like you can rush the quarterback.
Get there.
You understand? Yeah. Rush the quarterback.
Believe me, if those boys don't want to block for you, you're in a world of trouble.
About 2.5 seconds to really figure out exactly where you're going to go with the football.
While standing in an interstate highway at rush hour, dodging traffic.
He steps away from it and lets the pass go. Are you kidding me? He's going for a touchdown.
One week, as you know, you're the hero. People love you. The next week, they want you out of town. It's tough. You're getting booed for 3 quarters. How are you going to react to it?
One of the great qualities that a quarterback needs is to have the ability in the late in the game to just suck it up and go get it done. Kind of gritting your teeth and going and winning games.
You make a ball game out of it. Some quarterbacks can do it and some can't. If he can do it then to me, he's a great quarterback.
Pro football's first great quarterback won the 1937 NFL championship his rookie year. And for the next 16 seasons, his passing skills and NFL records suggested that Sammy Baugh could have played in any era.
If I had to pick a time play, I'd want to play right now. This is a passing man's game. Today's football.
Slingin' Sammy Baugh, voted the greatest living quarterback of all time by the Associated Press poll. Every time he throws the football, completes a pass, gains a yard, scores a touchdown, Baugh sets a world record.
Sammy Baugh was pro football's first great passer.
He had the greatest arm I've ever known in my life. I don't care, sidearm, underarm, long, deep. When they say you could thread a needle, boy, he could thread it. He was a great, great passer.
Baugh's accuracy was uncanny, and his receivers understood that if he called a post pattern, he meant a post pattern. Baugh's passing exploits stirred the imagination of the entire country and won him fame and a following. Part of his legend included the newsreel story on just how he became such a deadly accurate passer.
Now, when you were young, you used to practice your accuracy by throwing through peach baskets, didn't you?
People say I did, but I didn't.
We have footage of you doing it.
Well, I know.
That was all set up.
It doesn't help you a hell of a lot.
Ball also wasn't helped by the fact that his teams were seldom as good as he was, a problem that pro football's first great T-formation quarterback Sid Luckman never had.
Coach Halas came over to watch Columbia play Cornell. Well, what he did see was the potential possibility that maybe I could fit in as a T-formation quarterback.
Luckman set an NFL record with 7 touchdown passes in one game, led George Halas's Bears to 4 NFL championships, and was the league's MVP in 1943. While George Halas developed Sid Luckman, Paul Brown turned Otto Graham from an All-American single-wing halfback into pro football's most versatile quarterback of the 1950s. Number 60 was a great athlete who always put his team first.
Graham wasn't bothered by tremendous ego problems, so he could play within the system, and he could live with Brown calling the plays for him by the use of messenger guards who went in and out on every play. That was a big controversy at the time. Everybody said that Brown was creating a push-button quarterback, and oh, this is horrible, look at the way he's controlling the game. Of course, now nobody thinks twice about it.
Graham led the Cleveland Browns to the championship game in each of the 10 years he played pro football, and will always be regarded as one of the game's greatest winners. The most challenging rival Otto Graham ever faced played for the Detroit Lions. However, Bobby Lane never had Graham's clean-cut image. In fact, it was suggested that number 22 could roll out of a pocket or into a barroom with equal ease. As a quarterback, Lane didn't do anything particularly good, except win.
Bobby was not the best passer. He was not the best faker, but he just hated to lose. He just doesn't like to lose. He wants to win at whatever he does. He instilled that into everybody else, that no matter how far we got behind, that we could win.
Time is running out. With 3 minutes left, the Lions get the ball again. Lane fires to Cassidy, and the Baltimore lead is narrowed to 27-24. With 46 seconds left, the stage is set for a fabulous finish, and Detroit doesn't disappoint. Hopalong Cassidy hauls in Lane's lead pass, and the Lions complete a spectacular 24-point comeback to defeat the Baltimore.
We were exciting. We won so many games in the last 2 minutes, and the fans got used to that.
It was said of Bobby Lane that he never lost a football game. Time just ran out, and thanks to the reckless desire of this quarterback, the Detroit Lions won 2 NFL championships.
Bobby Lane was a good leader. He would scream and yell at his teammates, you know, but they knew that after the game was all forgotten. He just wanted to win so badly.
Norm Van Brocklin took a similar approach to leading the Los Angeles Rams.
When he took that field, they didn't call him the Dustman for nothing. He was one very tough and stubborn individual. He was there to win a ball game. Norm was a come in and let's bust loose right away type. Throw the bomb right away. Let's score right away.
In 1951, Van Brocklin set an NFL single-game passing record with 554 yards. It has stood up for more than 4 decades. He also led the Rams to the NFL title that season. 9 years later, as a member of the Philadelphia Eagles, Van Brocklin turned a ragtag team of losers into winners, and he did it in his own typical Dutchman style.
As cutting as he could be, he was a lot like all of our fathers probably should have been. Even some of the linemen that wanted to punch his lights out because of what he would say in the offensive huddle, by the end of the evening after the game was over, they'd say, "Hey, Dutch, great job."
There were 39 of us, and we really had no what you'd call a big star except Norm Van Brocklin. Without old number 11, I don't know what Tommy McDonald could have ever been.
Van Brocklin's got it. Van Brocklin's going to throw. He throws into the corner.
With Van Brocklin, the Eagles soared to a championship. Old number 11 finished off one of the greatest seasons any quarterback ever had by handing Vince Lombardi and the Green Bay Packers their only championship defeat in the 60s.
Probably the thing that Van Brocklin had that was unique was the quality of inspiration, the ability to inspire an entire team week after week after week.
In 1961, Van Brocklin became the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings, where he would try to inspire his rookie quarterback, Fran Tarkenton.
I came in 61 in an expansion team, and I was different from other quarterbacks. Other quarterbacks did not run. They did not use their legs to buy time to throw balls or to run for yardage. It was just an unwritten rule that you didn't do that. And I knocked down those barriers and made changes. That really caused tremendous criticism of my style of play. Everybody had an opinion about it, even Van Brocklin. He knocked that style of play to everybody that he could talk to.
To our surprise, Francis had a very average arm, but he had ability to run. And since he has this ability, every time he gets in trouble a little bit, he takes off running from one side to the other. There's a standing joke on our team by our linemen that if they miss their man, just to wait there because Francis will be coming back and he'll bring his man back to him. People have described Tarkenton as a scrambling type of quarterback. I suspect that that's about the best name you could put on him.
Over the course of the next 18 years, Tarkenton's improvisations yielded some amazing results. On the run or in the pocket, number 10 proved to be an accurate passer whose yardage and touchdown totals prove that you can succeed even if you're slightly different. Even better, you can have some fun doing it. Tarkenton's perseverance paid off in 1975 when he became the NFL's all-time passing leader.
First and goal from the 7. Fran rolls to the right, dumps it out, caught by Foreman, touchdown! Fran Tarkenton's record-breaking 291st career touchdown pass. 2 of them to Foreman this afternoon.
Tarkenton's accomplishments were further magnified by the size of the shoes he was filling. Those shoes belong to the quarterback many still feel is the greatest who ever stepped over center. Number 19, John Unitas.
Handsome devil, that John Unitas. Yeah, with his fine high-top shoes. But once you got him back in the pocket and started throwing down the field to Raymond Berry and Jimmy Orr and those people, you forgot about whatever he looked like. It was the results that was really the most important thing, and Johnny Unitas got results.
I believe Johnny Unitas was the first real technician as a quarterback. To him, the game was a science because he was so detailed, so disciplined in what he did for himself that he could unload the ball quicker and more accurately than anybody else who had played the game.
Unitas would make you hang in there because you saw him hang in there. When Unitas got beat, knocked down, boom. This cat's hanging in there, you know. We have respect for his hanging in there kind of attitude.
John will do anything, within reason to help win a football game. If you have to throw a block, you throw a block. He's not worried about hurting himself. That's the kind of leadership that I'm talking about.
For 17 years, his commanding presence propelled his teammates to greatness. There was magic in the way his team played for him. And while many have been compared to this great quarterback, Johnny Unitas is compared to no other.
You're talking about what ultimately turned into perhaps the greatest quarterback's career of all time. Always said that Unitas is the consummate quarterback. Or maybe we're better passers, or maybe we're better runners. There was never a quarterback with greater aptitude, with greater physical determination.
until his day, and even maybe until now, he's been the greatest quarterback of all time.
Throughout the 1960s, Unitas's main rival played quarterback for the 5-time NFL champion Green Bay Packers. His name was Bart Starr.
I think the quality of a great leader, of a great quarterback, is being able to deliver when you have to. Anybody can play when there's really nothing at stake. But I really think the measure of the player is how well he plays under pressure when you have to win.
Playing in Arctic conditions and battling a mighty Dallas defense, Starr led the Packers 68 yards to win the 1967 NFL championship.
Here are the Packers. Third down, inches to go. To Bader. 17-14. Cowboys out in front. Packers trying for the go-ahead score. Starr begins the count. Takes the snap. He's got the quarterback sneaking. He's in for the touchdown, and the Packers are out in front. There's 13 seconds showing on the clock, and the Green Bay Packers are going to be world champions.
3 straight championship seasons prove that Bart was the perfect quarterback for Vince Lombardi's winning system. And Most Valuable Player awards in the first 2 Super Bowls further solidified Starr's aura of greatness. While Starr savored success in Green Bay, Sonny Jurgensen labored in Washington and, like Sammy Baugh before him, demonstrated great passing skills, though he never seemed to have a great supporting cast. While you could knock him down, you couldn't knock him out, as he fashioned a Hall of Fame career out of a gritty resolve, a clever mind, and one of the greatest arms that ever launched a football. While Jurgensen was a flashy, hard-playing, hard-living quarterback, he was hardly the king of high living. That distinction belonged to New York Jets quarterback Joe Namath.
Points on the board, Joe! Points on the board, Joe! All right, 75 double choice. Flanker, Argo, out NK, go on 2.
Well, Joe Namath was probably the most exciting quarterback to play the game and to watch play it. He had a style that no one else had. His feet were so quick and so smooth, it was almost like a ballet in motion. He was so quick and agile and stylish as to the way he threw the ball. A great deep passer, a very accurate passer. And of course, there was just enough recklessness in the guy that he would take some chances with his throws deep down the field. But the style, it will never be equaled. To watch him play to this day, the old tapes, it was just beautiful.
Namath's problem was that as a pure pocket passer, opponents always knew exactly where he would be. Playing on bad knees throughout his entire 12-year career, Namath earned his fame and respect the hard way. But along the way, number 12 demonstrated both courage and conviction. But more than any of these characteristics, Namath is best remembered for his ability to back up a stunning prediction against the heavily favored Colts in Super Bowl III.
I got up to the podium, and about the time I'm getting ready to talk, a guy in the back of the room, "Hey, Namath, we're gonna kick your..." You know what? I said, whoa, wait a minute. I said, I got news for you. We're gonna win the game, I guarantee. And I really believed we were gonna win the game.
Namath completed 17 passes for 206 yards and thoroughly dominated the NFL champions.
I had a 60-yard rip-off. But they didn't check it. They checked it off. Did you check it? Yeah, I checked the line. I had something else on it. You know what I mean?
In the most stunning upset the NFL has ever witnessed, the Jets won 16-7 and guaranteed Joe Namath's place in history.
When the game ended, going off that field, it was kind of like a finality of it, you know, yes, and everybody's cheering, finally, we did it, we did it, we did it, we were number one. I never put my hand up like that for some reason. I don't know why, but that's the only time. And it was just a feeling. I didn't think about it. It was just, yes, yes, yes. Oh, it was great.
Some believe that greatness is related to winning a world championship. However, that belief would eliminate one of pro football's fiercest competitors, Dan Fouts, who called it quits after the 1987 season, having won everything but a Super Bowl.
The purpose of today is to tell you that I am retiring as an active player in the NFL.
All right, got 10 plays in us, huh? Yeah. Okay. What's up, baby? At 85 yards and 10 plays, huh? Because once we start scoring, no telling when we'll stop, huh?
I have a few yet unscrambled brain cells. 15 years is long enough, and this body has had just about all the hits it can take. It was fun for me, whether it was going to one of those huge offensive line dinners that we had. We'd have guys sitting there. Masick and Peretta would be matching mouthfuls with Big Ed and Moosey and Big Roo, and I'd get the bill. And then the next day we'd go put 40 on somebody. That's why I played the game. We had a lot of fun. Scoring touchdowns is about as much fun as you can have.
I already did make myself clear. Well, I think I understood you. Is that what you wanted, a touchdown?
I don't know if there's anything I won't miss about it because it's a total experience. I lived the greatest dreams and the worst nightmares. So it's really been quite a journey.
This journey carried the Chargers to dizzying heights as the most prolific passing team the NFL had ever witnessed. Fouts' courage was legendary, and his relentless pursuit of victory helped to further define the essence of what makes a great quarterback.
I think you can be great and be considered a great quarterback without having won a Super Bowl. There are many, many quarterbacks that never got there. The thing that sticks out in my mind is how they played the game over so many years.
For 16 seasons, Y.A. Tittle's pursuit of a championship was legendary. Throughout the 50s, Tittle helped to make the San Francisco 49ers exciting. But it wasn't until he was 33 years old and traded to the New York Giants that Tittle competed for the NFL title.
I've seen every T-formation quarterback that's played the game at the professional level since 1940, including Sammy Baugh and Sid Luckman. The greatest passer that these eyes have ever seen would have been Y.A. Tittle. Tittle just had a magnificent delivery. He was a symphony to watch.
Twice number 14 was voted league MVP, and from 1961 to 63, Tittle led the Giants to the NFL championship game. The Giants lost all three, however, and soon time ran out for Y.A. Tittle. His final NFL season only added to the frustration.
I went into Yankee Stadium in Y.A. Tittle's last year, and I believe that year was probably 1964. Y.A. had been benched that year. He led the Giants to 3 NFC East titles, 3 championship games. But that year, the old team had kind of gotten too old, and Y.A. had been benched and Gary Wood was playing. Sometime during the second half, they put Y.A. Tittle in. Y.A. Tittle was booed by 62,000 people in the city that he'd given so much to.
Sometimes it's not which big game you win, but how hard you fight to win every one. So it was a fitting tribute when Y.A. Tittle was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
That's what I admired most about players like Y.A. Tittle is they played for a long time, and they played very, very well for a long time, but they never lost the desire to play. They loved the game to the end.
Like Y.A. Tittle, Dan Fouts, too, would ultimately be honored for being a great quarterback.
It is my honor to present Dan Fouts into the Football Hall of Fame.
I've gone from a pro prospect to a third-round selection to a rookie quarterback to a fledgling quarterback, to a struggling quarterback, to a promising signal caller, to All-Pro almost, to All-Pro, to Player of the Year, to potential Hall of Famer, to aging superstar, to ex-quarterback, to certain Hall of Famer, to elected in the first year of eligibility, this gold jacket, these steps, this Hall of Fame, and as a roller coaster ride, it too has been thrilling. Thank you very much.
Dan Fouts is proof that performance, not championships, can measure a quarterback's true greatness. And today, there are 3 quarterbacks with similar careers. Denver's John Elway, Buffalo's Jim Kelly, and Miami's Dan Marino. Each was chosen in the first round of the 1983 draft. Yet while they have enjoyed distinguished careers, collectively, they have been on the losing end of 8 Super Bowls.
I think John Elway and Dan Marino and Jim Kelly's career stand on their performance over a long period of time and a lot of games. And if you want to tell me that they have less character than Mark Rippon or Joe Montana or Doug Williams or not as good, then you're wrong.
Though he was defeated in Super Bowl 19 and hasn't been back, Dan Marino's place in pro football history has been assured by his magnificent right arm.
The best pure passer, I think, that ever played.
In 1984, just his second NFL season, Marino launched an NFL record 48 touchdown passes, while becoming the first ever to pass for over 5,000 yards in a single season. Just 11 years later, Marino surpassed Fran Tarkington as the NFL's all-time leading passer.
Touchdown Dolphins, and Dan Marino with that touchdown has broken another record. He has the granddaddy of them all now. Most touchdown passes ever, and the Dolphins are on the board.
He also owns NFL records for completions and yards, accomplishments made possible by a style and toughness that has earned him respect and even amazement.
Dan Marino's in the class of Joe Namath. He looks really slow and methodical. You release from your man and you think, oh God, I'm gonna kill him. And just as you get there, you notice his arm's going down. You see him pat the ball and you see his arm coming through the motion. You go, did he throw it or is that a trick?
In big games throughout his career, Marino has shown that he has a flair for the dramatic.
The whole season perhaps in balance here. Here is Marino back to throw. He's going deep, got a man down there. He's got a touchdown!
In tight situations, Marino always manages to play loose.
Here's Marino, wants to throw it. Fires for the end zone. It is caught for a touchdown. And the Dolphins win the ball game. Marino throws his 5th touchdown pass of the game.
30 seconds to go. I believe Marino is saying I'm going to spike it.
This crafty veteran has used every trick in the book, plus a few he's authored himself to rescue victory.
He's looking. He throws it. Touchdown Dolphins. That was unbelievable. He's looking. He's under some pressure. Steps out to the right side. Throws into the end zone. And it is caught. It's a touchdown. Touchdown Dolphins. Oh my God. 11 seconds left in the game.
You talk about championship courage, a will to win. A flame burns inside that man, Dan Marino.
This same flame burned inside of Jim Kelly, but early in his career, it was nearly blown out.
Give me some time, damn it, give me a little time, they're so wide open.
But from his first NFL game, the ability to bounce back has always been Jim Kelly's trademark.
Backing up, falls down, gets up, rolls right, looks, fakes once, now throws, touchdown! Unbelievable! What a fantastic play by Jim Kelly.
Kelly's willingness to do whatever it takes in order to help the Buffalo Bills win has made him the NFL's ultimate warrior.
Feisty, tough, gritty.
Very gutty, very gritty.
a true leader out on the field.
Extremely competitive.
One of the fiercest competitors that I know.
One of the guttiest, if not the toughest quarterback ever to play.
I think he likes it better when he takes a lot of hits. If he's not beat up after the game, he probably doesn't feel like he played very well.
Sometimes I enjoy getting hit. It wakes me up. Sometimes when I'm having sort of a bad game, all of a sudden I'll get blindsided. It wakes me up.
He just keeps competing and competing. Bobby Lane was described as never having lost a football game. He just ran out of time on a few occasions. That's the apt description for Jim Kelly.
Kelly waiting, last play of the game, back to throw, and he's going to run, and he dives for the touchdown. Jim Kelly is being mobbed. The game is over. The Bills have won it.
The guy who probably hasn't gotten the recognition that he deserves based on what's happened in the Super Bowls.
The Bills have written history. They are going back to the Super Bowl for a fourth straight time.
4 Super Bowls in a row is a heck of an accomplishment.
So are 3 Super Bowl appearances in 4 years, a distinction that belongs to Denver's John Elway. With the ability to save his best for when it counted most, number 7's reign as the king of the 2-minute drill began with an unforgettable drive against the Cleveland Browns in the 1986 AFC Championship.
The look, the throw, touchdown, Lamar Jackson, 98.5-yard drive.
In the years that followed, Elway's legend grew thanks to his ability to keep his head while those around him were losing theirs.
Elway's got the ball to the end zone. Vince Johnson, touchdown! Well, I tell you, unbelievable.
For me in the 2-minute drill, I don't ever worry about making a mistake. I don't worry about if I do this, this could happen. So, I mean, it's really kind of the freest part for me in a football game. And a lot of times wish I could play like the whole game like I do in the 2-minute drill just because there's no fear.
Here's the 4th down and 10 play. Elway runs up out of the pocket, lets the pass go. It's caught. Johnson to the 40, 35.
In a career spanning over a decade, Elway has driven the Broncos to 37 fourth-quarter come-from-behind victories, an NFL record.
Hey, we need it in there. We need to get in the end zone, all right? Keep your hands in, no mistakes.
Hard double wing left, A right, 371, X-Vic wide look, the on, right?
Be ready, Rod. Rod Smith.
No, they're going to throw the Hail Mary here with 6 seconds to go. Elway's in the shotgun, steps up in the pocket, looking long. Here goes the pass. Rod Smith up. He got it! Broncos win! Time has run out. This guy will go down as the greatest come-from-behind player in National Football League history.
While Elway has shown a modern-day proficiency for beating the clock, during the 1970s, the master of the comeback quarterback, the Dallas Cowboys.
I was a big Roger Staubach fan. He was a guy that was a great athlete, could move around, and I always enjoyed his competitiveness. A guy that, if there's anybody that I idolized, was Roger Staubach.
Clock is running. Can they come back again?
He'd be the best role model anybody can have.
42 seconds left in the game. Redskins lead by 6. How can you live like this, doing this every week?
This is what it's all about.
This is a killer. Staubach throwing in the end zone. Tony Hill! Touchdown! Tony Hill! Oh, the stadium goes wild!
I believed that Roger was going to win every game that we played in, no matter how much time was left in the ball game. I always believed that Roger could win the game.
Well, the Cowboys need a miracle, as we said. 2nd and 10. Cowboys from the 50. Again, Staubach has him in the shotgun formation. Roger pumps it once. He's going long. Down the near sideline for Drew Pearson. Pearson makes the catch at the 5. Touchdown! What you believe in?
I hope I look like Roger Staubach a little bit when I play. That would be a great compliment if someone said, you know, you play like Roger Staubach. He was the best. It's been funny the times that we played the Cowboys. Every time he's their honorary captain, they'll be on the midfield. I'll be out there thinking they're just trying to psych me a little bit while my hero being out here.
I'll tell you what, I got my ankles taped. I am ready.
Roger Staubach will always be remembered for the countless times he was able to deliver when something important was at stake. Twice he led the Cowboys to Super Bowl championships. But in the harsh glare of pro football's ultimate spotlight, few have shone brighter than Terry Bradshaw.
I can say that the tougher the game, the more relaxed and confident I was in big games. The bigger the game, the better. But the real secret to me was that it is only a game. You've got NFL films every corner of the end zone. You got 100,000 people. You got hours of preparation. You got all these things going for you. You're playing in the biggest game in the world, and when it all boils down to, it's just a game. And once I was able to just to separate all the other things and say, hey, we're just going to block and tackle and throw football around and try to score points, and it's just a game. And always play your game. Don't let the situation dictate to you. You dictate to it.
Bradshaw led the Steelers to 4 Super Bowls and won them all. And twice, his vast assortment of skills made him the game's most valuable player.
Well, Terry Bradshaw was a truly great athlete, and I think that made a big difference. He could move and avoid, and he could run. Early in his career, his running was a difference. In fact, people wanted him to throw, not run. But as the years passed, he developed his skills as a passer and hit on a standing arm. Quick delivery, sharp spiral. He was accurate. He had everything going for him. He could run, he could move. Of course, he had a great complementary group surrounding him. He knew he could put the ball up for those great receivers. He knew where to throw the ball and when. And a lot of times he would depend on a great catch or a big catch by his receivers because he knew it would come up for him.
In tight situations, Bradshaw never seemed to lose his grip on the game or the football.
I held it differently, I guess, than most. As you can see, I have my finger on the tip of the football, and I had a wide hand, and I felt like I could control the football from tip to tip. I just naturally went to the top of the football, and I threw the javelin in high school, and you gripped it like this. But when the ball releases and you snap it, then that's the last finger that leaves the football anyway. And I always felt like it was like, this finger was like a whip.
Terry Bradshaw will forever be remembered as a player who always raised his level of performance when the game meant the most. It's a quarterback's most important asset and the prime talent of Joe Montana, the San Francisco 49ers quarterback who demonstrated a unique gift for winning. Shining his brightest when the hour was darkest, Montana made magic. In the 1981 NFC Championship game, with less than 5 minutes remaining, 88 yards, and the Dallas Cowboys' doomsday defense stood between the Niners and victory. 3 times Montana salvaged third downs with crisp completions, driving the 49ers to the Cowboys' 6-yard line.
Everything hangs in the balance now. The season, the outcome of a Super Bowl berth hangs in the balance. He has the ball. Montana rolling out the right, looking toward the end zone, throwing under pressure, throws his pass. Caught by Clark. Clark got a touchdown. Clark has it.
Thus was born the legend of Joe Montana, a quarterback who always seemed to make the most difficult position in sport look easy.
Joe, when he was out there, it was really like he was conducting a symphony. You know, things were smooth, things were precise, things just seemed to flow.
There's quarterbacks with better arms than Joe. That's easy. There's quarterbacks with, I guess, better stats than Joe.
Get it in, Joe!
I take Joe in any situation, anytime, anywhere. He'll do nothing but win and make somebody look bad.
You know, there's a lot of people that play the game, but there's not a lot of people that know how to play the game. Joe Montana knew how to play the game.
Tell Freddie to split about 6 or 7 yards on this thing.
Montana performed, and the people on the sideline watching him perform were inspired by that.
The way he plays the game is almost aesthetic, artistic, almost sensual, and from the standpoint of he's just so quick and nimble and able to avoid and maneuver.
Montana going to throw, rolls out, in trouble, slips, falls, lobs it to Craig, touchdown 49ers. What a play by Montana.
No matter what the situation was, he could execute under that tremendous pressure.
Like Terry Bradshaw, Joe Montana guided his team to 4 Super Bowl victories. Only he was the MVP in 3 of them. But in 1991, in the NFC Championship, this stunning career suffered a stunning blow. It took Montana 2 years to recover from this hit, and by then he had been replaced by Steve Young. He was traded to Kansas City in 1993 and spent the next 2 seasons rallying the Chiefs with the skills that had always made him one of pro football's most dangerous big game players.
Back to pass, Montana. Cocks his arm. Looks right, no one there. Looks left. Throws in the end zone. Touchdown! He's done it! Joe Montana has done it again!
Joe Montana taught the Chiefs that a game is never over until he says so.
A backpedaling, leaping catch. Touchdown! I don't believe what I just saw! Montana Magic is back!
For the first time in more than a decade, Kansas City found a way to beat the Broncos in Denver.
Touchdown, Montana Magic! Kansas City takes the lead with 8 seconds left.
But while there was still magic, the pressure had taken its toll. A concussion in the 1993 AFC Championship in Buffalo ended his last serious bid to play in a 5th Super Bowl. And in 1995, at the age of 38, Joe Montana finally uttered the dreaded R word.
I really and truly never thought that this day would ever come where I would saying that word, retirement, but unfortunately it's here.
In my mind, Montana is the greatest quarterback to have played. It's difficult to compare different eras because so many of the great ones had the same kind of results when they played. But with the complexities of the game as they are today, Joe would have to be the very best.
Who then is the next great quarterback? Is it Steve Young or Troy Aikman? Drew Bledsoe or perhaps Brett Favre? All 4 have strong and accurate arms. Each is a leader who has demonstrated the skills that all of the great quarterbacks of the past have exhibited. And to top it off, they're exceptionally tough.
Early in my career, I took a lot of shots from the media in that they thought that, there were times I should have gotten rid of the football and I was taking unnecessary hits. I don't really feel that I take unnecessary hits. I'm just not afraid to get hit.
Great quarterbacks do get knocked around. But they always find a way to bounce back.
Come on, Nash. Come on, you the Nash. You the Nash.
Bledsoe, he drops straight back to throw. Pump fakes, going for the whole thing. His man is open. Simpson, touchdown. Patriots win.
While Drew Bledsoe has the polish,
Blue, 58-36.
Brett Favre has the spit and determination that greatness demands.
Come on, run it.
This combination made him the NFL's MVP in 1995. While Favre is being compared to Bart Starr, in San Francisco, Steve Young has done some pretty amazing things in order to step out of Joe Montana's monumental shadow.
Gets away again, goes to the 40, gets away again.
Number 8 has better running skills than most runners.
35, cuts back at the 30.
He has also been one of the NFL's most accurate passers.
20, the 50, the 10, he dives, touchdown 49ers.
But it wasn't until he soared over his biggest obstacle and won the Super Bowl 29 MVP with a record 6 touchdown passes that he was able to experience the sheer exhilaration of true greatness.
It was one of the rare experiences where the reality far outweighed the dream. Usually the reality never kind of quite lives up to it. It far out surpassed it. It was beyond my wildest imagination.
Someone take the monkey off my back, please! Oh, it was that gorilla!
The burden was lifted and the torch finally passed. But while Steve Young had finally established his own winning identity, in Dallas, Troy Aikman quickly proved to be a 90s version of Roger Staubach.
Red, 18! Green, 85!
Calm and consistent, Aikman is everything a great quarterback must be. Just ask someone who knows.
What I like about Troy is he is a tough guy, and he's a great player, and he just doesn't complain. He goes out and he takes the responsibility. He's a great leader at quarterback. He throws the ball so hard and so accurate. He's got tremendous physical talent, but he's got this manner about him that really is a world championship type manner. Hey, this guy can take us there.
3 times in 4 years, number 8 led the Cowboys to Super Bowl championships. For Troy Aikman, the quest to be the best is never ending, but he has already begun to take his place among the greatest quarterbacks to have ever played pro football. Spanning nearly 8 decades, this select group of men has helped shape not only the game, but our memories of it. So long as dreams are possible, there will always exist a noble and never-ending quest to be called the greatest ever quarterback.